Kanye West has always been overrated. Explosion sound effect. Insert in post mic or don't. I don't know. I have never, like, I don't think his music is bad, but I have never been like a big fan of Kanye West. I was actually surprised when he ended up being one of the biggest artists in the world. I was surprised, genuinely, because I remember being a kid and like Gold Digger and Touch the Sky came out. I remember that song being like big at the time, but I genuinely remember like Gold Digger was Kanye's like first big hit worldwide. And I remember hearing it and I was like, oh yeah. Like I was like 10. I'm like, I don't get it. And I guess. And then, you know, the years went by, and to me, Kanye West was always someone like in the background doing stuff. And then all of a sudden, I feel like when I was at uni, he was like commonly regarded as like the best musician in the world. And everyone's like, oh, you've got to listen to like his albums. Like you've got to listen to Graduation and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and all these other albums. And I was like, oh, okay. I've never heard a Kanye West album. Kanye West obviously in a lot of strife at the moment. For, you know, he has been for a while, but it's all kind of built up to this interview on, I think it's Tim Pool's show. I could be completely wrong. I didn't look into it too much, but he's made some incredibly anti-Semitic comments, and it's absolutely this has been building for a while, but it's all kind of eventuated into these comments from Kanye West.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Especially Hitler. Especially him. Like, this is insane. And the thing about this that is so interesting to me is that Kanye West, like that reads like satire. It almost, like, it's so crazy that he is saying what he just said and what you just heard there. I won't play it again, and I played it only to demonstrate to you what he did say. And that's edited a bit. I spliced that together, but that is the crux of what he said. But it is so whack what he is saying there that it almost feels like satire. Like my brain almost cannot process that this is an actual thing that Kanye West said. It like doesn't want to believe it because it's like he can't be being serious. Like it must be satire, but he's off the rails. And I've always said this about Kanye, and we actually talked about this briefly on the Pat and Mike Patreon bonus episode. So jump on the Patreon if you want to hear deeper takes on what we talk about on this show. But the thing about it is Kanye West is undoubtedly one of the most famous people on the planet. He's one of the most famous people on the planet, and he's so loved and revered, and he clearly already has some mental health issues and just impulse control. Like the whole thing with Taylor Swift, which was such a huge moment for him and Taylor Swift, you know, where he took the microphone and said, I'm going to let you finish. Like that is not normal social behavior. Like for him to go and do that and think that was an okay thing to do says like wonders about his state of mind. Like that's not a normal social thing to do. And I think because he is so famous and revered, what I worry about is that I think even if he was in therapy paying huge amount of money to the best therapist in the world, I don't think there's any other person on planet Earth who can understand what it's like to be Kanye West, who almost echoes like Jesus Christ. Like he thinks he's so fucking amazing. And I don't think therapy can help him. Like I genuinely don't think there's a therapist that can really get to the bottom of it and actually understand his mind, because no one else gets to have the experience that Kanye West experienced and currently experiences. No one else can have that experience. And therapists, as good as they are, like I don't know if they can, I think they're good with like ordinary people, but with like the most famous person on the planet, I don't know. I just don't know if you can achieve that. I think it's really sad, and a lot of Kanye fans, including producer Pat from this show, are like denouncing their fandom of Kanye West, which I think is a good thing to do. Like, it's really, really disappointing. And again, it leads us into that debate that I've talked about on this pod before, even just last week with Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling, where it's like, can you separate the art from the artist? Because I think that the songs, like, are what they are, and they have whatever meaning to you that they have, and I think that it's fine to continue listening to them and separate them from Kanye, but I totally get that a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable with that. I guess, like, my thing is, if a Michael Jackson song comes on the radio, even though he's obviously a pedophile, if it's like one of the good ones, like Beat It or Smooth Criminal or something, like, I don't change it or get offended. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's Michael Jackson. His songs were really good. I don't feel like, I personally don't feel that caginess to switch it. But I get that other people would, and that's fine. But I think, it just is what it is, and that's what the world is, and things that are problematic, and lots of people have problematic aspects, and people are flawed. Don't get me wrong, I completely denounce what Kanye is saying and doing. It's horrible. But I don't think we should all never put on any of his songs on again or listen to them, and if they happen to come on at the supermarket or on the radio, we have to like throw the radio away, or like what, it's a tough thing though. But yeah, awful things that he is saying that are absolutely not okay. And yeah, Kanye West, more like Kanye South, because that's the direction of his career. It'd be interesting to see what happens from here. Like, very, very interesting to see what happens from here.